And there are also political aspects to take into account. For example, in Tunisia has just changed. They have to organize election, they have other more present matters to deal with. And civil society wasn't that empowered. So now we have to work. Tunisian civil society has to work and then put child rights issues high on the agenda and include corporal punishment into those campaigns. The law was promoted and pushed by the former president. The law is there, which obviously the risk would be for the current regime to turn down and then ignore it. But the law is there, so it has to be promoted, educational work has to be done, and CSO organization needs to be supported to promote and implement this law. And also, we have sometimes in Africa weak structures and capacities, so we maybe need more training of teachers, caregivers who work with and for children. So these are the key challenges that we can note in Africa. But at least in terms of key learning, what we can see between Tunisia and Kenya is that in Kenya, for example, we had a vibrant advocacy movement. There was a momentum to start with, and this started way before the constitutional reform. That's one side, that's Kenya. And in Tunisia, we have the political will. The president wanted it, like I said, they endorsed it, it was passed. So this is important, and this can be transferred in other contexts to see that if we have a strong civil society, and if we manage to have the backing of influential bodies, the policy makers, then we can achieve prohibition of corporal punishment through law reform. To conclude, I wanted to talk about opportunities in Africa. In Africa, we have the African Charter on the right and welfare of the child. This is the equivalent of the Convention on the Right of the Child, including some African realities. And we have a treaty body, a monitoring body, which is the African Committee of Experts on the right and welfare of the child. We're beginning to work more with them. They're beginning to be more visible on the continent. They, on several occasions, they've made recommendations calling for law reform, or at least highlighting the issue of corporal punishment of children in Africa. So this is an opening, this is an opportunity for us, treaty bodies. And also we have initiatives, civil society initiatives across the continent, across Africa. My project, for example, with the African Child Policy Forum and Global Initiative, try to encourage all partners in Africa to support law reform and equally promote positive discipline. But there are a lot more organizations. We can see a momentum, for example, in Southern Africa at sub-regional level. We have the Southern African Network on the ending corporal and humiliating treatment. In Uganda, we have coalitions. In Zambia, in a lot more countries in Africa. So it's happening. We're all aware that we need law reform in Africa. And then we have bills in discussion in several countries, as you can see, Cameroon, Liberia, Uganda, Senegal, all these laws which concern children. These are opportunities for us to achieve law reform and have a prohibition of corporal punishment of children. Maybe not in all settings, sometimes in only one setting. So these are opportunities that we can see in Africa. And then I wanted to share with you, which I think can be transferred in other contexts, in other countries. Okay, thank you.